Previously on Krog's mission, Krog, the monkey goblin monk of Erastil, arrived in Nantambu with hope in his heart and a mission in mind to aid the failing monastery and help it flourish once more. Alongside Elder Kriktos, he brought seeds, their fruit meant to provide both nourishment and income. A plan was taking root, but peace was short-lived. During the morning meal, a panicked monk returned with grim news. The monastery's warrior sister had been kidnapped. Wasting no time, Kriktos asked Krog to accompany the monk and investigate. The trail was unclear. No clues revealed themselves. But the jungle delivered a new threat. An aggressive lizard folk man emerged and, without warning, struck the monk unconscious with a devastating blow. Krog reacted instantly. One focused strike to the attacker's knee shattered the joint and dropped the lizard folk into unconsciousness. As the monk lay wounded, Krog tended his injuries. When the lizard folk awoke, Krog bound his hands and prepared to bring him back for questioning. What Krog didn't realise was that the ropes were not properly tied. Now, with an injured monk and a questionable prisoner at his side, Krog begins the cautious journey back to the monastery, unaware that danger may still lie within arm's reach.
Hello friends and fellow adventurers, welcome back. This is going to be session 4 of Krog's mission. So where we stopped last time, Krog had defeated the lizard folk that approached him and the monk. He followed the monk here because they were searching for clues as to where their sister was kidnapped from by these bandits, because the monk that he came here with was attacked at this very spot. So upon looking for clues and coming up short on clues, a lizard man approached them. We asked the fate chart if he was with the bandits that originally attacked this other monk, and he was. So he ended up attacking us, of course, but his confidence was a little misplaced because it only took one punch from Krog right in the leg, breaking his knee, and he fell to the ground, quickly falling unconscious, but not before he landed a sucker punch on the monk that we followed here. So after both the monk kind of was able to recover and the lizard folk man awoke from falling unconscious, that is pretty much where we stopped. Now the plan right now in Krog's head is, okay, we have one of these bandits. I'm gonna take him back
to the monastery, and we are going to question him. If he does not want to play well with us, then we will take him to the gods in Nantambu and see what they can do with him.
So, for right now, that is going to be our plan. So we are going to move over to our... Tell you what, we will go ahead and add... We know his name is Zaire. Again, he has not said his name to Krog or the monk. And I tell you what, we'll add to the threads list. Nah, I don't feel like that's important enough to add to the threads list. But we are going to switch scenes. We have not found the sister of Erastil. I should have made that scene a little less broad. We'll say that that was finding the evidence, because this scene is going to be Krog escorting this lizard folk man back to the monastery for questioning. And that's going to be scene 3. I think we were very much in control of that previous scene. Krog took him down without effort. Though we have not found any clues, I think he is going to be our clue. Now, one other point to note is that Krog rolled a natural 1 on his check to tie the ropes of the lizard man, hit his bonds when he was tying his hands together. But as far as Krog knows, he tied him as well as he could, so that is going to play a big factor in this escorting scene. So as soon as we set up a new scene, we have to test that scene. Now we do that by rolling a d10 and comparing that to our current chaos factor. 6, so that is above our current chaos factor, so it is going to go as we expect. Now, is that how Krog's expecting it, or how us, the creator of this story, is expecting it? Because I am expecting him to break free of his bonds in some way. Now, he does still have a broken leg, so he's not just gonna, like, bust free, run off into the woods, and get away. So, let's just start there. So it's gonna continue as we expect, and I'm gonna go with my expectations. He's got to get free. That natural one is not gonna go unpunished. So let's get back to the kind of overhead map here. So Krog is going to take up the rear in this marching order, and the monk that led him here is going to take point, and they are going to have their prisoner in between them. So I'm sure with a little amount of prodding, they do get along their way back. So they continue the route that they took to get here. Okay, so let's find out exactly how this lizard folk, Zaire, is going to attempt to get out of this situation. I think that's most definitely going to be an action. So we are going to roll on our actions table. Alright, we have 88, which is support, and we have 67, which is path. Okay, I don't really need to do much thinking on that. Support and path. That kind of really goes with what's happening here. So the path obviously is the road we are taking, and support, I think without a doubt that's going to be he has some reinforcements along this road that was either watching what happened, or they were kind of just already set up for another ambush completely separate from what was happening there. Now they did walk a ways outside of Nantambu. They were already outside of the city limits itself, just starting at the monastery, and they traveled even further away, so they were a good, I'd say, couple hours out. As far as time of day, they left in the morning right after morning meal. They traveled a couple hours. The fight happened, and we rolled a dice that told us that roughly 4 hours had passed before the lizard folk man Zaire was able to regain consciousness and wake back up, and that puts us to basically where we are right now. So I'm thinking about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes on their trek back. Zaire knows exactly where he is on this road. His eyes kind of scan the forest as they're walking down it, being sure not to give away the fact that he knows something is up, but he knows that his bandits, or his brothers in arms, his allies, have an ambush spot just around the next bend. Or at least he hopes. We are going to ask the fate chart. So, he kind of prepares himself, and in the past 30-45 minutes he's been walking, he quickly realized that his bonds were extremely loose. He could break out of these with one tug if he really wanted to, but he was kind of waiting for an opening, and he sees one coming. As they approach the next bend, Zaire, with one quick motion, he breaks his bonds. He takes the rope that was around his wrist, and he quickly puts it around the neck of the monk in front of him. He turns, putting the monk between him and Krog. The rope stretched tightly around his neck, cutting off circulation. The monk is unable to speak. He can barely gasp for breath. Now, I'm gonna make it nearly certain. We are still on Chaos Factor 4. Nearly certain. Are there other bandits awaiting to ambush some unsuspecting travelers along the road? These unsuspecting travelers being us at this current time. .44, yes, and that is Oh man, that's perfect, because 44 is doubles, and it does meet our chaos factor, meaning there is a random event. Okay, so there are bandits here waiting. Zaire made his move at the right time. They see the commotion happening. I'm thinking they're up in the trees. At least a couple of them are up in the trees, and a couple hiding in the bushes beside them. Let's figure out that random event real quick. Event focus. Ooh, is an NPC positive? Of course it is. But which NPC is it going to be a positive for? Now, I'm gonna roll a d4. And if it comes up a 3 or a 4, it's gonna be for Zaire, which I thought about just making it for him, but I'm leaving this up to the dice. So which section are we gonna be drawing from? Of course we are. It is a NPC positive for Zaire, which we kind of already knew, but that was the random event. Now let's see exactly what that random event is. Even though we already know he has allies waiting in these trees to ambush us and set him free. And again, I feel the action table is going to be appropriate in this situation. Alright, we have 60 and 40. 60 being lure, and 40 being home. I know exactly what this means. I know exactly what's going to happen here. Okay, so Zaire, he grabs the monk by the throat with the rope. He has him back. His allies in the trees and the bushes see this. They recognize Zaire right away. They know they have the upper hand. They don't even bother with the ambush. They all just step out very confidently, laughing. Ha 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 ha. Hey Zaire, looks like you got us another couple ones, huh? Monks too, by the looks of it.
Yes. But don't be fooled by that short one. He knows how to fight. He busted up my leg pretty good.
Oh, is that so? As the two that were in the bushes kind of get out and begin to slowly walk around him. Krog initially was immediately taken back. He gripped up his fists when he saw the lizard folk grab the monk by the throat. And as he was getting ready to engage, he sees the bushes, and he sees the other bandits come out laughing. Keeping his fists clenched, he drops them a little lower to his side, looking, darting his eyes between the two bandits that are now circling him. He takes a slight step back. He stays quiet. Now let's ask the fate chart again, because I'm going to let Krog make his own decisions. Rather, I'm going to let the fate chart make his decisions for the most part. But I'm thinking nearly certain, again, nearly certain, on the chaos factor of 4, is Krog going to surrender. He sees that he's outnumbered. He can see the other two bandits in the trees. They made themselves shown as well. Not only is he outnumbered, which his pride might just make him fight any other day, but he knows that his brother's life is also in the hands of these bandits. And if he chooses to fight now, he could bring harm to his brother. And I don't think that's what he's gonna do. So you know what, I'm gonna actually bump it up. It's certain. Is Krog going to surrender? 52, yes he is. Krog's fists begin to relax a little bit.
Fine. It seems you have caught us. I surrender. Please release him. You don't need to threaten his life anymore. So what is it now you will do, huh? Are you going to kill me?
No. We got better plans than that. We're gonna take you back, and we're gonna show you to the boss.
He'll know what to do with you.
Or she, actually. Tell you what, is it a he or a she, their boss, they are speaking of right now? 1 to 50 male, above that female. Ooh, it is an 80.
No, we're gonna take you back to the boss. She'll know what to do with you.
And Zaire, laughing as he releases the rope from the monk. The monk collapses, puts his hands on the ground as he falls to his knees, his other hand rubbing the spot on his neck. It's been a pretty bad day for him. So no sooner than he gets to kind of rub his neck and catch his breath, Zaire snatches his hands up, puts them behind his back, uses the rope that was formerly binding his hands, and ties up the monk, doing a much better job than Krog did. And with a slight bit of resentment, not any real resistance, Krog allows himself to be bound as well. Well, damn. Okay. It's actually kind of fun. I'm not happy that it happened, but that is going to progress our story because, actually, this could be really good. We need to find our sister anyway, and she was captured, and I'm certain that she is going to be at the location that we are going to soon be taken ourselves. So Krog and the other monk, tied up, being led back up the road from which they were just walking down from, so they're being taken further north. Now let's find out how far north they're going to be taken. Alright, and we're going to add to the threads list right now, escape captivity. Alright. And, well, honestly, I think that's going to end that scene as well. And I don't think we need to make a scene for us being taken back to wherever we're going to be taken to. So we will wait to set up our next scene until we figure out a few other things. Okay. So how I'm kind of thinking this hex map's going to work. I don't really do hex maps. I've never have before. I like the idea of them. So how I think I'm going to do this is each hex is going to be roughly a quarter day of traveling. So maybe like 3 to 4 hours-ish. 2 to 3, somewhere around there. We'll say 3. That's kind of a good number. Okay, so how many hours are we going to be traveling until we get to wherever these bandits are taking us? And since I kind of just want to explore this map, I'm going to roll, we'll say it's minimum 3 hours, and I'm going to roll a d12. So 3, 6 hours. It's going to be a 6-hour journey. Okay. And we are going further north. So we get led north 2 more squares. Alright. So our escorting mission has reversed on us, and we are being escorted through this jungle wilderness. We follow the main road for a while, and then after the first 3 hours, we take a less traveled path for a little while, and then off even more off another beaten path to where these bandits have set up their makeshift camp. Or maybe it's okay, let's get an idea of this location. So we know we're going to this bandits camp, but what exactly is this bandits camp? Let's roll on the locations table. So 94 and 64. 94 is unpleasant. Well, of course, that is obvious. 64 is odd. Odd and unpleasant. Well, yes, it's going to be unpleasant. We knew that. But odd. How is this odd? How exactly is this location odd? I'm going to roll again on the descriptor table. I know I'm doing a lot of rolling, but there's a lot of stuff I need to figure out. Okay, we have 31. Excitedly And we have 63 military. Okay, excitedly military. So, I'm thinking these are a little more than just bandits. They get to this camp. It's a very well-guarded military camp. Okay, fate chart. Alright, before I roll this fate chart, we are going to set up our new scene. So our new scene is going to be, I think it's just going to be escape captivity. It's going to match our thread. And we were not in control of that last scene. Not at all. So our chaos factor is going to go up to 5. Now my question for the fate chart. I'm thinking that this is... nearly certain. Is this actually a military camp? If it comes up a no... I'll tell you my other idea. So is this an official military camp? Nearly certain. 49, yes it is, okay. So we thought we were being led to just some lowly bandit camp that we could probably just escape out of tonight. But this is a legit military camp. Trees in the immediate surrounding areas have been leveled. They've been used to create a wall around this very good-sized military camp. There are guards posted at the entrance that we are being led to. There are archers up in the towers looking out. And from where Krog can see, he can see other towers all around. They are dug in here, and they are dug in deep. They walk past the guards in through the main gate. Immediately, he can see dozens or more tents set up for sleeping. He can see areas set up for blacksmithing, areas set up for eating areas. And in the center, the largest structure of all, the only actual structure that doesn't seem to be made of just tents and stakes, which he is certain is where any of the high-ranking military officers would be plotting and planning whatever it is they have going on here. He is very undelicately led, him and his monk companion here, they are led to the they are led to the prisoner area of this camp. Long rows of metal cages, some large, some only large enough for a single captive. All of them filled with travelers that they have taken from along the roads. But why? Why are they collecting random people along the roads? Why is there a large-scale military camp this close? Well, it's not really that close, I guess, to Nantambu. Maybe it has nothing to do with Nantambu. Why are they posing as monks and kidnapping people? I suppose maybe that's just the easiest way to not arouse suspicion. And they probably already knew that our monastery was failing anyway, so who cares if we tarnish the name of that god and his followers? Okay, upon walking in here, was Krog able to see any identifying emblems or any significant details that could tell him who these people are? If it's a large-scale military operation, then surely it's backed by a large either government or nation or people of some kind. I'm just gonna say that it's likely, because they'd probably have banners or signets on the guards' armors or something. So likely. Did Krog have a chance to see anything to identify who these military people are? It is likely. Ooh, and that's a 16. Yes, almost an extreme yes, but no, it is a yes. So he sees something identifying them. Okay, there is a table in the Mythic book for army descriptors. I feel like that could be very relevant to our situation. So let's see what we can come up with. I'm gonna re-roll the white dice because both die were kind of cocked. So let's try that. So we have 48 and 41. Loud and illness. Oh, okay. Illness. I'm not sure what to make of loud. I'm thinking that they are just very loud. They're very proud. But illness... Okay, I'm gonna ask the fate chart, but I'm almost certain. Nearly certain am I, on a chaos factor of 5. Is this an army? Is this an army in the service of the god Urgathoa? One of her areas of concern is disease, and that's the connection I'm making to illness. So I'm certain. That's how certain I am. But I'm gonna let the dice tell me otherwise, if so. I'm certain. Is this army bearing the insignia of Urgathoa? 51. Yes, they are.
Urgathoa is one of the more terrifying and fascinating deities in the Pathfinder world. Known as the Pallid Princess, she's the goddess of disease, gluttony, and undeath. Where most gods represent ideals of balance or virtue, Urgathoa is pure indulgence. She teaches that life should be devoured without restraint, and that death is just a suggestion. In Pathfinder's lore, Urgathoa was once a mortal woman who loved the pleasures of the flesh so deeply, she refused to pass on after death. She broke free from the afterlife and returned to the world as the very first undead. That defiance made her a goddess. Followers of Urgathoa often include necromancers, undead creatures, and those who revel in excess, whether it's food, drink, or power. Her temples are rare and usually hidden, often decorated with decayed beauty and signs of rot, yet always full of life in a strange, perverse way. Her symbol is the skull-backed fly, a grotesque creature that represents decay, pestilence, and the cycle of death feeding life. You'll see this unsettling image on banners, carvings, and the armor of her devoted followers. To many, she's horrifying. To others, she represents ultimate freedom. No rules, no limits, no end.
All the soldiers Krog passed, all the banners, all the tents, everything in a deep black colored cloth. The banners bear the emblem of a fly with a skull on its back, the unmistakable sign of Urgathoa. And that is where we are going to end today's session. Wow, that 100% is not how I saw it going, but that is what I love about solo role-playing, the Mythic system. Okay, we were captured by Urgathoans, an Urgathoan army, a large-scale Urgathoan army. Well, shit. Thank you for watching, friends. And if you stuck around this long, I salute you. As always, have a great day. Goodbye, friends.